Good day, viewers, and welcome to another episode of the special show, The Nigeria We Want. The Nigeria We Want is a collaborative project of leadership and the United Nations International Children's Education Fund, UNICEF. There is a show where we feature students from different schools across the FCT, where they talk to us about the kind of Nigeria they envision for themselves in the areas of education, healthcare, governance, and security or insecurity, as the case may be. So joining me today in the studio are students of
Innocent David Oche, a student of Allied Manek International School, and I'm in SS2.
and
My name is Abdullah Safali Abimbola. I attend Pray to Excellence Academy and I'm in Jesus 3.
okay, good. So let's start with education. So the key subject of the Sustainable Development Goals, called the SDGs, which you all know about, is about providing access to education, but not just access to education, but quality education. So what do you think access to education means?
Access to education means what we get from the government as students and as students that are studying in schools, and the things that we can achieve from our teachers and put in our head for the future.
Okay. So what do you think access means?
Access, it means like you are able to get education freely, and we need the government to help and get us more teachers so that they'll be able to teach us well.
Good. Okay, so let's look at quality education. Could you describe to me what it's like? You're in JS3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you take a practical course, right? What kind of practicals do you do in school?
I did practicals on this rabbit.
Habit? Okay, so that's science, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so could you explain to me what kind of how do you practice sciences in your school?
Like science is based on practicals. You must sit down and understand it very well. It's not like a rush thing you have to rush and do. You must calm down and understand very well.
So it has also to do with practicing things as you are seeing them, not just reading them on the book, but practicing.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say that you have all the equipment you need when practicing sciences in your school?
Yeah, you must have the equipment ready at all time.
But do you have every equipment you needed to do your science studies in the laboratory?
Yes.
You have all,
Yes, ma'am.
every single one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you said you did science practicals on the rabbits. Describe that to me. How did you do it?
It's not like it has been long I did like over like last time.
Okay.
But like it says like it's like a surgery. You have to be careful when opening the rabbit, not like you gonna hit the part of the heart. You must be very careful while opening it. One of the equipment.
Do you think there's a particular while you were doing that, as far as you remember, do you think there was anything that you needed that would have made the practicals much more easier, but you didn't have it on hand?
Listen, remember that you need a professional doctor next to you.
Okay. Like a teacher that will be guiding you
Guiding
through what you're doing. Okay. So what about you? Have you had any experience with science practicals? What's that like in your school to study sciences?
To study science in my school is great because when you are doing the practical, you are with your mates and you feel relaxed and you will not have fear. So then you will be happy, and as you are doing the practical, you will be understanding, and make sure you calm down when doing things so that you will be able to have a good result.
And these are all the external the internal aspects of you're talking about the one that you bring to the table. What about the ones that the school brings to you to study? Do you have all the equipment that you need to study or to do your practicals right there in the laboratory with you?
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me of one of such experience.
Like there was a time we did chemistry practical on quantitative analysis where they brought two salts. They won't give you the name of the salt, but after all the practical, you are going to find the salt. So you are going to use some equipment like Bunsen burner, like water, and the salt and some other things that will help you to have a good result.
But if you were given the option, would you like to go do the practicals on your own, like especially the ones that the teachers are not doing for you, that but you've read about it and you want to practice that.
Yes, but in some aspects that till a teacher explains it, you won't be able to do it by yourself. Rather, you are going to do it together with the teacher. As the teacher is explaining, you understand. Then after the explanation, you come on your own and try to do it again.
Good. So do you think your school has all the equipment that you need to be, to do a very good science practicals course in a laboratory?
Yes, since when we started practical, all the equipment have been there that we have been using.
Okay, good. So that means your school is different.
Yes.
Interesting. So, but still, let's go a little bit further to ensuring access. Maybe your school has access to quality education and all that, but not most schools do. What do you think that government should do to ensure access to quality education for Nigerian children?
One of the reasons why some schools don't have quality education because they don't have qualified teachers. And qualified teachers come when they are being paid well. So the one solution is that government should increase the salaries of teachers and lecturers so that those who have knowledge to impact knowledge would come and impact on others, and so that children will understand and make our Nigeria to be great.
What about private schools? Because I know you're from a private school.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that some teachers are underpaid. They're not paid well enough. What do you suggest they themselves do in order to enhance teachers' performance in schools?
Teachers should not only look on the salaries. They should have in mind that, yes, we are in one Nigeria and we want to make our country great. So they should come and teach. And in order for them to feed themselves and their family, they can have backup plan, like doing handwork that will raise them some money so that they will be able to make our country to be a good Nigeria.
Do you honestly think teachers have to have a backup plan with the teaching that you're doing already?
Yeah, it's necessary. You need to have a talent, like something you must do.
But have you considered the fact that they come to school in the morning and then they teach you in the morning from 8 to sometimes 2, 3 o'clock, and then they have to mark the sheets, and then by the time they are done with that, they don't have time for themselves to do anything else? I mean, should they be the one worrying about that, or should the school be paying well enough for them to now concentrate on that job instead of worrying about, oh, I'll do this and I'll go do that? Isn't that the whole reason where they start, not doing their jobs properly?
They should add the school management to, like, they will plead with them so that they can be able to increase the salary. And if they refuse, they can still teach. But when they are doing their handwork, they can have like apprentice that when they are not around, the apprentice will be doing the work and raising money for.
Interesting. So, but let's get a little bit move on to let's see governance, right? We are getting very, very closer to the elections, and I know you all are too young to vote, but that doesn't mean that you cannot contribute to towards a successful election. And how you can do that is through information, being armed to know what you should do right. So I have a few questions that I would like to ask, and any of you who knows that can answer. So let's look at what are the 3 major parties that are running for the presidential elections this year.
APC is running. PDP is running.
Well, the 3 major political parties that are in this election are APC, PDP, and Labour Party.
Labour Party. So who are their major presidential aspirants?
In the Labour Party, we have Peter Obi.
Okay.
In APC, we have Tinubu.
Yeah, good.
Ahmed Tinubu.
Yeah.
While in the PDP, we have Atiku Abubakar.
Okay, great. So final question. What do we need to do as Nigerians in order to be able to make sure that things go well for our country, that our nation does better? What do we need to do at this election to ensure that our nation turns out better?
Like most of most corruption, most election we have corruption. People sell their election cards and give money from other rich men, and people bribe people to vote for them. Meanwhile, they are not the good. They promise things that they will do, but when they are later elected, they will not do that thing.
So what do we do now?
So what I think we should do, like we should stand on our ground. No corruption, no buying and selling. We must
vote.
no buying and selling or vote. We must stand on what we like. We must choose the right person to make this our Nigeria a great place.
So in other words, we should vote wisely. Thank you so much, kids, for joining us today. We hope viewers to join us the next time for another episode of the Nigeria We Want. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.